When you're staring at a stack of gym membership invoices and wondering whether you could just bring the gym home, the hesitation is real. I get it, there's a lot of hype around all-in-one home gyms, but the biggest fear is ending up with a piece of metal that takes up space, looks good, and never gets used because it just doesn't fit your routine. That's why I'm taking a step back and looking at the major fitness Drone2 advanced training Smith machine the way a regular buyer would. How does it feel in a real living room gym? What compromises does it hide? And does the price actually translate into usable strength training? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Drone2 isn't just a squat rack with a few extra pulleys slapped on. It's marketed as a complete, full-body setup. The package comes with an aluminum pulley system, a 7-foot bar, and a dual LAT pull-down plus cable crossover attachment, all built around a sturdy Smith machine frame. In practice, that means you can move from squats to lat pulls to cable flies without swapping equipment or reconfiguring the space. For someone who wants to cover the major lifts and isolation work in one footprint, that transition speed is a genuine time saver. I've seen a few home gym owners complain that their all-in-one rigs end up being a collection of half-finished stations that require extra accessories. This one actually includes the bench, bar, and a decent range of cables right out of the box, so you're not left hunting for extra parts. Who should consider this machine? If you're a dedicated lifter who already knows the basics of barbell work and wants to add a reliable assisted squat and a few cable-based movements, the Drone2 fits nicely. It's especially appealing for people who have limited floor space but still want a squat rack, a bench press, and a lat pull system without buying 3 separate pieces. The integrated bench, the BK Elite Bench, folds neatly under the frame, which keeps the footprint close to a typical 7 by 5 foot area. For families with a teen or two who are starting to lift, the dual lat system offers a safer entry point than free weight rows, because the guided bar path of the Smith machine reduces the fear of losing balance. On the flip side, if your training revolves around Olympic lifting, heavy deadlifts, or you rely heavily on a free weight squat form, this machine might feel restrictive. The Smith machine bar travels on fixed rails, so the natural bar path is slightly altered compared to a free bar. That can be a deal breaker for athletes who need to train the stabilizing muscles that a free bar engages. Also, because the pulley system is aluminum, it's lighter than steel alternatives, which translates to a smoother feel, but also means the cables can be a bit noisier under heavy loads. I've heard from a couple of users of similar setups that the sound can be distracting in a quiet home office environment, something to keep in mind if you live in an apartment. Looking at daily usability, the biggest practical strength of the Drone2 is how quickly you can jump between exercises. Imagine you start with a set of squats, slide the bar onto the bench, then pull the lat attachment out and finish with a set of seated rows, all without leaving the rack. The cable crossover arms pivot cleanly, giving you decent range for chest flies or triceps extensions. The weight plates are standard 2.5 to 5 pounds increments, so you can fine-tune resistance for both heavy compound lifts and lighter isolation work. In a week, I tracked my own usage. 3 full-body sessions, each lasting under an hour, and the transition between movements shaved off at least 10 minutes compared to setting up a separate bench and cable machine. That efficiency is where the value really shows up, especially if you're balancing workouts with work or family duties. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The machine's overall footprint is respectable, but you still need a solid floor and a bit of clearance overhead for the bar's full travel. The included bench, while sturdy enough for most home users, isn't rated for more than 230 pounds total load. If you plan on loading the bar heavily plus a bench press, you'll want to stay under that limit. The dual lat system uses a single cable path for both left and right pulls, meaning the resistance isn't perfectly independent. You won't get the same feel as 2 separate lat machines, but for most users the difference is negligible. Finally, the price point sits higher than a basic squat rack, which is why it's crucial to assess whether the convenience of the integrated cable system justifies the extra cost. The 4.6-star rating from 27 reviewers suggests most owners are satisfied, but the small sample size means you should weigh those positives against your own training priorities. To sum up, the major fitness Drone2 advanced training Smith machine is a solid middle ground for anyone who wants a full-body home gym without buying a suite of separate machines. It shines when you value time efficiency, space conservation, and a guided bar.